Bonjour, bon membre comité, bonjour, nous bon invité, monsieur auditeur général, support staff et du monde qui peut suivre nous dans la cour. Aujourd'hui, nous pour passer un bon matin, pour faire travail Finance and Public Accounts Committee et nous pour prendre des entités, tous les dépendants pour faire avec Maritime. Étant donné que nous bon visiteurs, nous bon du monde qui nous samène pour venir devant nous et pas familier avec créole, nous pour procéder en anglais bon matin pour tous les deux sa identité d'une façon qui ça monsieur capitaine qui directeur SMA Seychelles Maritime Academy est capable d'intégrer fully avec travail qu'il en a pour faire. Good morning, after this short introduction, I simply said that we were going to proceed in English because one of our visitors is not familiar with the Creole language, and we would like you to interface with us fully, and we would not want to leave you out of the business of the FPAC this morning. The FPAC, as you know, is the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly, and we have the task of overseeing the performance, financial performance of ministries, departments, agencies of government to ensure that they keep up with what is expected of them. And we do this in collaboration, of course, with the Office of the Auditor General, who prepares an audit report and highlights issues that need to be considered by the FPAC. And our job is to then speak to the various agencies, ministries, departments, and ensure that there is full compliance. Our job, as I keep saying, is not to be a sentencer and to sentence you to serve penal servitude for your wrongdoings. It is to ensure that there is compliance and to work with you to fill in the gaps where gaps occur. And it is in that light that we would like to welcome you and work with you this morning. Our first entity is the Seychelles Maritime Academy. And just for the public that is following, I would like to introduce everybody who is in the room. First of all, the members of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee. On my right, we have Honorable Sofa, Honorable Larsen, Honorable Churchill-Gill, who is the Vice Chair of the committee. And on my left, we have Honorable Arisol, Honorable Gabriel, and Honorable Romain. This is the committee, and it is chaired traditionally by the leader of the opposition, which is why I'm sitting here in the middle. We have with us here today as our support staff, the Deputy Clerk of the National Assembly, accompanied by Ms. Ranisha Chetty, who is going to become the Secretary of the FPAC in due course, assisted by Ms. Lucy Michel, and the Hansard reporter, Ms. Georgina Ballet. Next to you are the Auditor General himself, Mr. Gamini Herat, and he is accompanied today by, is it Mrs. Zialo? Mrs. Wendy Zialo, who is the audit manager, and we will be joined perhaps later by an auditor. Representing the Seychelles Maritime Academy are Mr. Roy Claris, who is the PS Principal Secretary of the Department of Fisheries. Good morning, PS. Mr. Mahesha Abeyanayake, who is the Director of the Seychelles Maritime Academy. Mr. Joshua Adlin, who is the Senior Accountant in the Ministry of Fisheries, Agriculture and Blue Economy, and Ms. Gemma Sui, who is the Administrative and Human Resource Manager of the Maritime Academy. Welcome, and we look forward to interfacing with you. This first session will proceed from now until 10:30. Because you are members, or because you are witnesses, before our committee, you will be sworn. In a minute, Ms. Chetty will ask you to either swear or make a solemn declaration according to your wishes and preference before we proceed. The manner of the work will be that one of our team, and for this first session it'll be the Honourable Gabriel, will take the lead in asking questions, and he will make a short introduction, and he will then go to the relevant issues in the audit report, and we're looking at the audit report of 2024 for this first session, and he will lead the questioning. But other members will jump in whenever they feel the need to do so. So without further ado, unless you have any questions for us, I will ask Ms. Chetty to administer the oaths or the solemn declarations. Ms. Chetty.
Stand up. Would you like to take an oath or one affirmation?
No, we swear. I swear.
So everyone is okay with me. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I swear to tell the truth.
I swear to tell the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
So help me God.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Chetty. Thank you, panel, for taking the oath. The first entity, as I mentioned, is the Seychelles Maritime Academy. Honourable Gabriel, over to you. We're looking just for your information, and for those of you who have the report, at pages 88 to 91 of the 2024 audit report. Thank you. Honourable Gabriel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to say thank you. Welcome to the panel. Good morning, everybody who's listening to FPAC. So I'll just give a small introduction, as the chairman has said. The Seychelles Maritime Academy is responsible for providing education, professional training, and maritime-related fields. Its primary mandate is to equip students with the technical skills, knowledge required to work in the maritime industry, which is including areas such as nautical science, marine engineering, fisheries, maritime safety. The Academy's aim to support development and competent and qualified maritime workforce in line with both national needs and international standards. The Seychelles Maritime Academy was transferred from the Ministry of Education to the Ministry of Fisheries and Blue Economy effective April 2024. So the audit of the Academy was conducted for the years 2023 and 2024, which emphasis on the system of revenue, payroll, procurement, goods and services, and fixed assets. Principal objective of the audit was to perform sufficient tests to ensure that the transactions of the Academy were conducted in conformity to applicable financial regulation, procedures, and policies. So I'll go straight away with the suspense account itself. The audit found that the Seychelles Maritime Academy operated a suspense account through which substantial revenues from hostel rentals, auditorium hire, cafeteria rent, training courses, and t-shirt sales were deposited, expenditures were incurred, and payment amounted to 2.1 million in 2023 and 3.56 million in 2024, while the closing balance reached 6 million by the end of 2024. Despite the significant volume of transaction, no approval policy, procedures, and operational guidelines were govern and management and use of the accounts. So my first question to the panel is, why was the suspense account allowed to operate for several years without an approved government's framework? And secondly, I would add, if Mr. Chair,
please go ahead.
What is the current status of the terms of the reference, and when is approval expected? I will stop now.
Over to you, panel. Who will answer? PS? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Good morning, Honourable Chair and Honourable Members. With regards to the question on the suspense account, in fact, Honourable Member, as you have rightly said, the Academy was transferred to, from the Ministry of Education to the Department of Fisheries in April 2024. When we acquired the Academy in 2024, there was a framework that was established by the Ministry of Finance for basically dealing with the suspense account, but it was a general framework. It was not a proper terms of reference. It was a general framework that was basically issued to all professional institutions, and it was not specific to the Maritime Academy. So basically, when we acquired the Academy, we noticed that there was this gap, so we started the procedure with the Ministry of Finance to establish a proper terms of reference. In fact, it took us a bit a while, a bit of going back and forth to be able to resolve this issue of the suspense account, because without a proper terms of reference, as you will see in the audit report, there were expenses that were made that were not in line with what was supposed to be in accordance with the proper terms of reference. So, in fact, in April, beginning of this year, during the beginning of this year, we had the approval of the suspense account from the Ministry of Finance.
So you're able to have a suspense account.
We're able to have terms of reference. Sorry, Chair. We're able to have the terms of reference for the suspense account, and this now clearly caters for what expenses we can make in the recurrent budget of the suspense account. And in fact, the suspense account provides for the payment and accounting procedures, the authorized signatures, and limits, and it explains all the expenditures that can be derived from the suspense account, and in terms of the justifications of those payments as well. So basically, it was approved by the Ministry of Finance exactly on the 13th of April of this year, and it is now being implemented, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Yes. Before I was going to ask the Auditor General whether he thought that he was satisfied with what has happened, but let me ask, let Honourable Churchill-Gill ask a question first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. My question is, who are the signatories who signs on the suspense account? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Panel?
Thank you, Honourable. Mr. Chair, for the authorized signatories, up to 20,000 rupees, it is approved by the Director of the Maritime Academy.
Who is the gentleman sitting to your right?
The captain sitting on
Thank you.
my right.
Yes.
And payments exceeding 20,000 rupees up until 250,000 is approved by a procurement, an internal procurement committee, and the procurement committee has been set up. It also has its terms of reference. And any payment above 250,000 rupees is approved by myself as the Principal Secretary, with the approval of the Procurement Oversight Unit as well. But just to be clear, Mr. Chair, even if those payments are approved internally by the Maritime Academy, I am privy to these transactions as well. And we have our accountant also that we do not scrutinize for lower payments. We don't scrutinize every detailed payment, but we do sample transaction audits on it.
Thank you. And when you say you are privy to them, presumably you are made aware of the payment periodically?
I am made aware of the payments, and also the payments come to me as well for final approval.
Even the ones below 20,000?
The one below 20,000 is approved by the director.
That doesn't come to you?
Doesn't come to me.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Honourable Lassen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everybody. My question is where the suspense account is concerned, where there's segregation of duties, and which officers were responsible for overseeing the reconciling of the suspense account. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable. Sure. In fact, now we have a proper accounting section with segregation of duties. We now have a senior accountant, which is Mr. Adlin, sitting next to me. We also have an accounts assistant and a technical and an assistant accountant. But when I just want to bring to the attention of the committee as well, because further down in the report, there are issues with regards to accounting practices, which relates to the question of Madam Honourable.
Honourable Lassen.
Honourable Lassen, my apology, Mr. Chair. The issue is that when we acquired the Academy in April 2024, there was an account assistant seconded to the Academy by the Ministry of Education. And we had at that time only one accountant in our department. But when that transition was effected, the assistant accountant was not transferred to the Department of Fisheries. So the accountant in our department had to administer the whole budget of the Department of Fisheries, Blue Economy, which was 19 and 14 million rupees, plus the 17 million rupees budget of the Academy, including the suspense account, which hold an amount of around 6 million rupees. So there was no segregation of duties at that time. And we made every effort since the very beginning to raise this concern to the Ministry of Finance and the then Public Service Bureau to inform them that the workload on one accountant for administering a budget of over 40 million rupees is not conducive, is not in line with financial practices. There's no segregation of duties, and we need to resolve this. It took us a while, but beginning of this year, we managed to have our full, complete team for the segregation of duty as is required. Thank you.
Thank you for a comprehensive response. You will have realized from the tenor of the question that Honourable Lassen has an accounting and audit background. So beware. Honourable Lassen, are you okay with the answer? Thank you very much. Thank you, PS. Anybody else? Yes, Honourable Womet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PS, what's the limit that you can keep in your suspense account? Do you have a limit that you can keep it in? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Woman. No, we do not have a limit. The terms of reference does not establish a limit, correct? Sure, yeah.
Educate me. Why do you need a suspense account? What is the function of it?
Mr. Chair, the Academy is budget dependent, semi-budget dependent, I would say. We do get a recurrent budget from the administration, from government, for the day-to-day expenses, salaries, and recurrent expenses. But the Academy also is a revenue earner. They have revenue stream. The Academy has a hostel. They run courses for outside entities
mm-hmm.
which pays the Academy. They have a talk shop, and they have other services that they run. And the reason why they need a suspense account is for them to be able to, one, receive these money, and also incur the expenses. If they need to maintain the hostel, then they don't use the recurrent budget. They use the money from the suspense account for these expenses. And in fact, when we inherited the Academy, we've inherited it with this setup. I don't know if Ms. Gemma would want to maybe add to the activities which is undertaken under the suspense account.
Thank you, PS. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Yes, Mr. Chair, under the suspense account, we run the short courses, as PS has said, SCW short courses. We run a hostel. We run a canteen and offices also. We have a auditorium, and sometimes that we rent out if in the weekends there are offices or companies who wants to do a forum or a meeting. They use that. So these are the funds that we get from the suspense from out of these funds, and it is deposited in the suspense account for that. And these funds we use for the renovation of our facilities. And I remember 2 years back we used the suspense account with the permission of the Ministry of Finance to renovate our canteen, with the re-roofing of our canteen, which costs around almost 7,000,000 rupees. Yeah, this is what we use it for.
Thank you. Help me here. You are budget dependent, but you also have a suspense account, and you can use the funds in the suspense account for recurrent needs. Who has oversight over how this happens? Why do you use funds from the suspense account, for instance, rather than from your budget in terms of maintenance, for instance? I'm sure you have a maintenance budget. So who segregates, who decides we'll use this money from the suspense account or we'll use the money from the budget? How is that decision made, and how are the two expenses reconciled?
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Please, PS.
Thank you, Honourable. In fact, the terms of reference is very clear on what expenses can be derived from the suspense account.
I see.
So those that are not in the annex, we have an annex. We can share the document with the committee.
Thank you.
It is clear, for example, in terms of hostel operation and welfare. It says you can purchase kitchen equipment, laundry machine, beds, repair, renovate the infrastructure, maintenance of the hostel. In terms of training delivery, we can pay part-time staff, minor emergency maintenance of the training vessel, consumables for the training vessels, the bait. We can pay for consumable use for short courses, equipment, lifeboat engines, life raft repair. So it is clear, it's not a decision that can be made ad hocly as to whether we use the recurrent budget or the suspense account. It is clear what is in the suspense, what expenses can be made from the suspense account, because normally in general principle, expenses that are made from the suspense account are expenses that are recoverable in terms of revenue that the academy can derive. Those that are from the recurrent budget, they have specific budget line, which is approved by the National Assembly, of course, which basically guides the department as to which transaction can be paid for from the recurrent budget.
Thank you, PS. And the suspense account presumably has its own financial statement separate from, and who audits that account?
Maybe if
Yes,
I may, I'll ask the
Yeah.
senior
FC.
accountant to answer this one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the question. It's the Auditor General and the internal audit that do the auditing for the suspense account.
Okay, and the accounting is maintained separately
Yes.
from your budget accounting, your budget-dependent accounting?
Yes, but the how do you say, the reconciliation is done by me, so when we submit it to the Treasury also.
Okay, yes, Honourable, thank you. Honourable Arisol?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. And remember, Mr. Chair, you were going to
Yes, I'm going to go back to
AG
him.
a line to explain to us if he's satisfied or not. I wanted to go back to PS in regards to, in same line of question that you have just asked. PS stated earlier that you were having difficulties because in regards to staff to deal with over 40 million rupees. And then you stated again that now you have a team. So can you give us how many personnel you have in that team, and if you are satisfied that everything is being done correctly and all the accounting are accountable now? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honourable.
PS? Thank you, Honourable. Yes, as of 1st January 2026, we have a team of three. We have a senior accountant, an assistant accountant, and an accounts technician. And I can affirm that, yes, I am satisfied that things are being done correctly now. We can follow the segregation of duties, because prior to this, we have an accountant who's collecting the revenue, raising the invoice, doing the reconciliation, doing the banking, and this is not in line with the accounting procedures. So this is why we raised the alarm to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service Bureau several times, because I was concerned of this practice. And I can say yes, now we are satisfied. We can manage the amount of duties, because this was creating a lot of delays in our ability to provide accounting services. We have a lot of clients. We have part-time lecturers that come and give supplementary courses that we need to pay. And before that, because there was delay in the payment, they were threatening to stop providing the services, which have been a considerable impact in us being able to deliver the courses for the learners. We have staff on salaries, and all those accounts, they need to be reconciled internally before it goes to the Ministry of Finance for them to do their reconciliation. So for us, now that we have the manpower that we required, we are happy with it. Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you. Honourable Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to know, how many bank accounts does SME have? Thank you.
Let the accountant. All our accounts are with the Treasury. We do not have commercial bank accounts, if that was the question, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Okay.
So that means
go ahead.
The answer that the chair was told, because he asked whether the suspense account is only for what the TOR specified. And then he asks about what about the budget that is given separately for operation. So that means the suspense account is catering for everything. That's why I asked how many bank accounts.
May I, Chair?
Yes, please, go ahead, PS.
Thank you, Honourable Gill. No, there's, it's just two separate accounts, but both with the Treasury. As all other government entities, we have the recurrent budget, which is approved by the National Assembly for payments of salaries, running of the academy, and other things. This is from the government's recurrent budget. And then we have a suspense account, which is a separate account, but with its own terms of reference for maintaining part of what the academy does, which is not catered from the recurrent budget.
Yes, please go ahead.
So that means the academy have two processes at the Treasury, because one is for the suspense accounts and the other is for the other expenses.
They have two accounts.
Yeah, that's what I want.
But the process, Honourable, is the same.
One person.
The process is the same. All the accounting procedures. It's just maintaining of two separate accounts.
Yes, this is what we wanted to clarify.
Thank you. Honourable Woman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PS, earlier you said that the director can approve an invoice up to 20,000, not more than that, 20,000 rupees. What about if there's a situation where you have several invoices, it's for different entities, and it come up to more than 20,000 rupees, but it's for different companies? Can the director still sign? Because all the invoices will be less than 20,000 rupees, but when you add up all, obviously it will be a lot more. Can he still have the power to sign all those for the payment approval? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Woman. Yes, he will, because this is per transaction. It's not cumulative. If you have 5 invoices for 5 different services, less than 20,000 rupees, it's 5 different transactions. It's per transaction. If an invoice is more than 20,000 rupees for a service, then it goes to the procurement committee.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PS, I don't know if you, I'm just saying the total, all the invoices together, it will be a lot more than 20,000 rupees. But obviously, individual is less than 20,000 rupees. You're saying he can still sign?
According to, yes, Honourable, according to the procurement procedures and procurement manual, yes.
Yeah, well, thank you, PS. This is something that has been concerning this committee, and we are going to make a recommendation in due course, not for the Maritime Academy necessarily, but generally. You see, because we've had situations where if you rent, for instance, a vehicle for a year, you're going to go over your procurement limit. So what you do is you rent it for a month, and you fall below the procurement limit, and you do it constantly every month. And this, I think, is a gap that can be abused. I'm not saying it is, but there is a possibility of abuse. And I think this is the line of questioning that these two members are focusing on. You see, if you have, for instance, a contractor, because there is some repairs to be done, and fixing a window is going to cost less than 20,000. Painting an internal wall is going to cost less than 20,000, etc., etc. And you get them to raise an invoice for each item rather than one comprehensive invoice. You can get around the procurement limit. And this is what I think we need to focus on, and what this committee, in previous discussions that we've had with previous MDAs, have found as a possible gap that could lead to abuse. And I think you understand this. And we're not, I don't necessarily want you to respond, but you may if you wish. I think the question that I would like to have answered is the crossover between the suspense account and the budgeted amount. If you have an item, for instance, which requires expenditure from both, what do you do? Do you take part, and I'm thinking of repairs, because you're allowed under the TOR to do some repairs to the hostel, for instance, but if these repairs go beyond a particular limit, can you draw from both wells or not?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In fact, in practice, no, we shouldn't. But as you will see from the report, in past practices, before the terms of reference of the suspense account was established to give clear directives, yes, it was. But going forward, this is not the practice. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Honourable Gabriel, are you happy with the answers so far? Okay. Let me ask Auditor General, Mr. Herat, are you satisfied with the implementation of the TOR for the suspense account and its performance since your audit?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, honourable members. Good morning, the delegation and the Secretariat. Yes, I have been listening very attentively, and I have grasped the essence of the discussion, and I can say that we are fully satisfied with the explanations provided, and also the way forward with regard to the TOR, which has been approved and by Minister of Finance, and now it is being implemented, and we will, when we do the audit of the academy next time around, we would look into the operation of the suspense account in particular, and also we see that the conditions are being met, and there are no unauthorized expenditure being incurred. And also, perhaps, with your permission, I can make perhaps a recommendation for improvement with regard to the accounting, because you asked them if they would prepare a separate statement of account for this. Perhaps it is a good thing, because the account is being maintained through Treasury, yes, and we get access to the account. But still, it is better accountability if they can prepare a small statement of account for this particular suspense account, and add the necessary explanatory notes and all that, and they produce it together with the academy accounts, so on an annual basis, so that we can do perhaps more comprehensive review of the financial transactions of the.
Thank you, Mr. Hera. Thank you, Mr. Adin. You've taken this on board. Separate accounts, one for the suspense account, one for the budgeted amount. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Very good. That deals with the first question. We have just under an hour left for the other issues. Honourable Gabriel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So it has been established now that the TOR for the suspense account is in order, and all the recommended person to do the job is on board, and the audit is satisfied. So basically, I would ask you one pertinent question. Why were substantial expenditures authorized before clear operational guidelines were established? And I would add on, what interim controls were being implemented to safeguard the funds until such time the TOR was approved?
Thank you. PS?
Thank you, Honourable Gabriel. Mr. Chair, as you would note, in terms of the use of the suspense account in the audit report, it also looks into transaction that was done in 2023 when the Academy was with the Ministry of Education.
You're correct.
And that of 2024 when the audit was done, which was under the Ministry of Fisheries. I can only answer for what was done under the Ministry of Fisheries at that time. Like I've said in my previous response, we had a guideline which was a general guideline, and it was not basically a clear guideline of what transaction can be used from the suspense account or not. And there was a point where the Academy had to make some purchase where they did not have sufficient fund under the recurrent budget. So they used the suspense account as a supplement for these purchases. So that was, like I said, in the past when we did not have the proper guideline. But I can assure you, now that there is the proper terms of reference in place and procedures, this should not be a repeat moving forward. Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you. Any further questions? What kind of fixed assets were purchased? We have a couple of examples from the suspense account.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we do. There were CCTV camera that was installed in Providence for the safety of the learners and staff and resources. We have a research a training vessel as well that we need to be secured. There was extractor fan that was need to be purchased for the workshop after the explosion that happened in December. It was prior to the budget being released, and we had learners that were being admitted, and we had to continue with the courses, so we couldn't wait for the budget approval. So funds were used from the suspense account to cater for these. There was the recruitment of a site and facility officer, which was recruited, I believe it was late December of that year, so we had to furnish the office. And there were other items. There were computers. There was a lack of computers and old computers that needed to be replaced. So these were part of the items that were purchased during that time under the suspense account.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Honourable Gabriel, I may have trespassed on your duties. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since we're on the subject of fixed asset, we'll just proceed from there. We have got the amount of the quantity of what was purchased. So I would ask one question. Have these assets now been recorded in the fixed asset register? Is it up to date? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gabriel. I will answer the first part of it and say yes, and then I will ask Ms. Gemma to supplement. Yes, in fact, this was one of our gap as well. It was in terms of personnel at the Maritime Academy to be able to undertake all these duties, because the fixed asset duties, normally it's done by an assistant, administrative assistant, and then you have the admin assistants that oversee this. But in our case, at the Maritime Academy, we have Ms. Gemma, who is the administrative assistant, but then she was given human resource duties as well on top of this, and it became a bit of a burdensome for her, and even for her, in terms of segregation of duties, it's still an issue now because she's a one-man band, I will call, and we have the assets purchased, and it was difficult for her to be able to maintain the register. But what we have done since the audit has identified this as a potential gap, the Academy has gone to manually register the assets now. We have liaised with the Ministry of Finance to get the proper asset software installed by the ICT, and we are doing the follow-up on this. And I don't know if Ms. Gemma would want to complement what I just said, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, PS. Ms. Sui?
Thank you, PS. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Regarding the fixed assets, like PS has said, we have communicated with the Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Finance has to communicate with the public asset department. And we waited for a while, but now we got the permission, and in fact the personnel came 2 weeks ago to install the fixed asset on the computer of one of the staff who has been delegated to do that now. But unfortunately, our director was on leave, and since we don't have an IT person right now, he has the administrative password, so they had to come another day. They will be coming during the next week to install the fixed asset, so that we can make a move now.
To fix the software, you're
yes,
saying, from the ICT,
yes,
so that you can then update your fixed
system.
assets
Yes.
register.
Yes.
Yes, Honourable Lassen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've got two questions, really. Have the financial records been corrected to reflect the acquisition value and depreciation of these assets? And do you have a list and value of the assets purchased? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, we have the list of the value of the fixed assets, which is manually. This we can provide you with. Yes.
Relatively up to date. Is your manual list relatively up to date?
Yes, it is up to date. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I think there was another part of the question, Honourable Lassen.
The financial records pertaining to the fixed assets purchased, has it been recorded to reflect the acquisition value and the depreciation of the assets?
No, Mr. Chair, sorry, no, this hasn't been done, but we will have to do that for going forward. Yeah.
And presumably you will tell us that with the DICT software, once you use that, it will depreciate
yes, because the depreciation, yes, with
automatically.
The software, yeah.
Honourable, are you happy with the answer? Yes. Yes, sorry, PS,
yes.
you'd like to add something?
Maybe just to add, yeah.
There are a lot of questions coming to you.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Chair, and knowing the complexity of this, to do valuation as well, we need to have the capacity internally, so we will be liaising with the Ministry of Finance to assist us, because it is not a relatively easy task. We've done it in our department as well. I know how difficult and complex this is, but yes, we endeavor to do it. Thank you.
You are not alone. This is a recurrent complaint that we've received from MDAs. There is a desire, but there is a lack of capacity. Hang on, I had a question from you. Yes, Honourable
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PS, in view that your fixed assets are not up to date, you are saying manually that you are getting the software. I know you have quite a bit of assets, but can you guarantee with us that all your fixed assets are still there where it's supposed to be? I mean, at the SME. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I have been given the assurance, yes, they are, because when the manual register has been done, there is a list that is now in every offices or classroom where all the assets are located. So, yes, all the assets are accounted for.
Before I get to Honorable Sofa, let me ask you a supplementary question arising out of what you've just said. Once you have a fixed assets register, apart from the audit done by the Office of the Auditor General, do you do an internal audit every now and again, a spot check to ensure that the asset register corresponds with the actual assets? Or is there again a lack of capacity which prevents you from doing that?
For the Maritime Academy,
yes.
There is a lack of capacity in doing this. But I think now going forward that we also have our accounting team, we can use our accounting team to do periodic spot check and verify. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be useful. Thank you. Honorable Sofa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, panel. My question is, listening to all that we have heard this morning concerning assets, Maritime Academy, there's different sections. So each section have their own assets. I'm just putting forward perhaps for an opinion that can solve this situation. Wouldn't it be important that every section could make the verify, let's say every 3 months, verify the assets and then give a report, send it over to the accounts so that the accounts can update quarterly or half a year. Then you will be able to update all the assets before waiting for the Auditor General Office. Won't this help this situation?
Thank you, Honorable. PS?
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I think this is something that we need to discuss internally as well to see how practical and accountable it is in terms of practice.
And what frequency, presumably?
Sorry?
And the frequency.
And the frequency, yes. Let us reflect on this, Honorable, and we'll see internally if this could be a potential solution to part of our problem. Thank you.
Thank you, PS. I think Honorable Sofa is vocalizing an issue which keeps cropping up. Every MDA has the same problem, and we are eager to ensure that this doesn't come back. In fact, if you look at the audit report, fixed assets comes up in every single MDA, and it is an area where improvement is required. The Vice Chair has a question. Honorable Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since since you confirmed that you have a manual list, what is the value of the total fixed asset for the Academy today? Thank you.
I do not have this figure with me. I don't know if the
Ms. Gemma
has.
Yep. Good morning, Mr. Chair. No, unfortunately, I do not have the exact figure, but we will make that available. Yeah.
But, Mr. Chair, we can provide this value to the committee if desired.
That would be useful. Thank you. Do it in due course, and we'll make a note of it. Thank you. Honorable Avisol.
Merci, Mr. Chair. In line with the same question, like we've all been asking, fixed assets, and you have a lack of capacity to deal with all these assets, especially with the Maritime Academy, and you have a suspense account now. So has the fixed asset register been updated with asset purchase from the suspense account when we are talking today? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable. Yes, all the fixed assets has been updated, yes, either recurrent budget or the suspense account.
Thank you. Any further item? Yes, Honorable Hassan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to go back on the fact that the financial records have not been adjusted to reflect the acquisition cost and accumulated depreciation of these assets. Consequently, therefore, the accounting records does not present a true and fair view of the entity's financial position. So my question to you is, how do you plan to sort this out and ensure that the accounting records present a true and fair value of the entity's financial position? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honourable. PS?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable Hassan. As I have stated, Mr. Chair, we will seek the assistance of the Ministry of Finance in assisting us in doing this task.
Thank you very much. Satisfied? Thank you very much. Yes, we look forward to that. Auditor General, Mr. Herat?
Mr. Chair, let me answer that question to some extent, because Honorable Hassan was asking whether the accounts are true and fair. Of course, we should remember that the government accounts are kept on a cash basis, and we are following IPSA's accounting standards for that. In that framework, we are not accounting for fixed assets and other liabilities and assets in the financial statements of different entities, because they are expended. As far as the accounting framework is concerned, fixed assets are expended, meaning that they are charged to the expenditure. So therefore, when the financial statements that they produce are on cash basis. So the statement show the receipts and payments, or the receipts and expenditure, and the budget comparison. So this is what is in the format of account that has been prescribed by Minister of Finance as per Circular Number 1, 2015. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Auditor. Any issues arising out of the Auditor's statement? Are we okay? Are we on board? I apologize, I was not paying much attention because we were just looking at the other items arising from the report in respect of fixed assets. And we were just wondering, we've also had a look at the non-updating of the fixed assets register. We've already covered that in the answers. We've also had considered the physical verification of assets, which haven't been performed, but we are now told of the reasons why not and how these are going to be brought up to date. So I think unless anybody has any specific queries, we're pretty much done with fixed assets. Yes, Honourable Gabriel.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Just one last thing on this fixed asset thing. Since the capital assets were financed through the suspense account instead of the approved capital budget, I mean, were approval obtained from the Ministry of Finance before using these funds? If approval from the Ministry of Finance were obtained before?
In terms of, Honourable, in terms of funds that was used from the suspense account?
Yes. Because the TORA were not established yet. So.
No, the thing is, Honourable, like I mentioned, there was a framework at that time, which was the guiding principle for all institutions, and this was what was being used at that time. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Romain.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one last one. Yes, you mentioned earlier that fixed asset is one-man band, correct? Something like that? So there's just one person that was dealing with fixed asset, and you said the madam was doing it from HR. But in view, you have all this difficulty. Now you have you are fixing it, but are you planning to recruit one staff, or you have a specific department, division, whatever, that you're going to make sure that all your fixed assets are in order? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable George. In fact, this is something that since we've acquired the Academy, we've been trying every year that we do the budget process, the budget review. We put forward our human resource need requirement, and we have consistently been requesting that we do get an administrative assistant to assist Ms. Gemma. She is alone performing the duty, but regrettably until today, this has not been catered in our budget, but it won't stop to continue and ask for. And I think now that we have this gap in the audit report, I think it gives us more justification to our demand to be able to fill in this gap. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you. Thank you, PS. Following on from the question of Honorable Sofa earlier, who suggested a sectorial and quarterly inspection and verification of the assets, am I correct in assuming that there is an annual asset verification that is done or that ought to be done? And if so, has that occurred?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. It ought to be done. It ought to be done, but when you have the same person doing the register, tagging the assets, so that person will be basically overseeing...
Auditing themselves.
themselves.
Okay. So again, capacity. What you need is extra hands on deck, as it were, to use a maritime phrase, which is work in progress. Thank you. Okay, Honourable Gabriel, are you okay with assets? Yes. Yep.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, Honourable Gill, I'm sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
No, just a reminder that to give us the list of assets, including the value.
Yes.
And a copy of the TOR as well.
We have noted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, we look forward to receiving those. Yes, if there are no other issues on assets, can we go to the next item, Honourable Gabriel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe the next item we'll take is the delays in the banking. So specifically, the auditor identified daily receipts totaling 234,591,000 that were not deposited on the following working day, as required by the accounting manual. So in several cases, funds remain in the office for 50 up to 108 days before being banked. We all know that delayed in banking significantly exposes to theft, loss, or misappropriation. My question to you is, why were the public funds retained for the period of up to 108 days? And what amount of cash remain in bank at the highest point, up to date? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable. PS?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Honourable Gabriel. Yes, in fact, this has been a concern for us. Like I stated, when we acquired the academy in April, we had only one accountant, Mr. Adlin, and the services of the accounting duties that was being undertaken with respect to the Maritime Academy by the Ministry of Education was withdrawn. So the Maritime Academy collects considerable amount of revenue. And with having only one accountant in-house, it was very difficult. That was it was basically an additional entity for the accountant to look after. And it was, I would say, almost practically impossible for the accountant, one person, to absorb all these duties because he was already doing the payrolls, other payments. We have 200 bursaries that monthly, they have to be paid their allowances. There was reconciliation that has to be undertaken, services to be paid. So from day one, when we realized that this was an issue, we contacted the Public Service Bureau to ask for an accountant to be able to assist us. But regrettably, it took a very long time. And at that time, Mr. Chair, we had to prioritize what accounting duties that we do that keeps the academy functioning. And it is regrettable that the banking was not done, but it was not deliberate or on purpose, but it was purely a lack of capacity to do it. But what I can safely say is that at the time that the audit was done, this issue was resolved. And In fact, it was resolved in August of the same year that we acquired the academy. And to date, with our 3 staff, all the banking is being done in accordance with the accounting manual, and we do not foresee that this would be a repeat in the future. It was a one-time issue, and it has been resolved. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Spotted by the Auditor General as it should have been. Was there any loss of revenue as a result of the late banking or not?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, there was no loss of revenue. All the revenues were accounted for, reconciled, and submitted to the Ministry of Finance, which they also gave their consent to.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's comforting. Yes, Honourable Agisol.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, PS, for the answers. In the same line of question, if we have an amounting to audit receipt and amounting to 234,000, not banked on official working days, and there were instances where funds remain at the office from 50 to 108 days before being deposited. How do you know? How do we know that this is the right amount that was collected and kept in the office for 50 to 108 days, then being audited by the Auditor General? It could have been 300,000, 400,000, but it was in the office at that time for 50 to 108 days. Then the accounting, the audit amount only to 234. We don't know. Mr. Chair. Thank you, PS.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable. Maybe I'll ask the accountant to explain the accounting procedure. And he was the custodian of that money, so he'll be in a better place to explain it. Thank you.
Excellent. Mr. Admin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the question. So basically, there's the cash module that every revenue is recorded inside, so you can see every transaction, every amount that's entered the account, so it's easy to reconcile. So that's what the auditor used to reconcile this. And there was no amount missing to confirm. Thank you.
Thank you. And that revenue was kept in a safe somewhere or in a proper place?
Yes, it was kept in a locked drawer. Yes.
And it was all presumably cash, not checks or anything like that?
Cash and POS, yes. POS also.
Right. Okay.
But now we also have Honourable Chair, we now also have a safe deposit box to ensure that it is not just a drawer, but in a safe as well.
You're upgrading as you go along.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The answer from Honourable Agisol's question was that all the money was in the system and it was easy to reconcile. That money, somebody must have keyed in. How did we reconcile? Do we know if that person has keyed in the right amount? Was the reconciliation did to see the collection is reflecting the amount that has been posted in the system, ultimately banked? Just tell us how the reconciliation was done to 100% guarantee what should have been collected has been collected, what has been posted in the system is what should have been posted in the system, and ultimately what has been banked is exactly what should be banked. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable. Mr. Adlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the question. So basically, there's a daily collection, Mr. Jama, correct me if I'm wrong, a daily daily report of the cash, is it POS, is it check, is it cash, that I receive. So
generated by
the cash module, right? It's generated in the cash module. So let's say Ms. Jama is the one collecting the cash. So she will issue a receipt to the supplier. So then this reconciles with the daily collection sheet. So that's how we know how much money has been entered the account. So it's easy for us to reconcile because we cannot raise this without the receipt.
And that daily reconciliation is manual or?
No, it's it's computer generated.
Computer generated and dedicated software?
Yes, from the ICT cash module.
The ICT cash module. Thank you. Yes, Honorable, Honorable Gill has a follow-up.
Just one last follow-up. Your revenue stream is from different areas. Is the module segregated according to the various revenue stream? Thank you.
Yes, actually there's a description where you can put the types of revenues that we are receiving. So that's how we know if it's sales of t-shirt, if it's hostel, if it's rental of canteen. That's how we know. There's a description next to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Romain.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just, the receipt, I think Mr. Chair asked, I'm just wondering, is it done manually or is it done digitalized? You mean? It's
digitalized.
Digitalized.
Yes.
Okay. Because the money being kept for so long, 108 days, so, and we are just wondering if this is the right amount that being banked later on. So, but the system itself, can somebody, who has the authorization to go in the system, or is it just the accounting staff, for example, just you, or anybody can just step in and maybe override something in the system? Can it be done, or you have some security issue that can stop anyone from jumping into the system? Thank you.
So basically, if you want to avoid something, you have to contact the Ministry of Finance to do the voiding of any receipt or any invoice you raise inside the system.
And that includes you as well. You also
Yes.
have to get their permission.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Romain.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your answer. But what I'm asking is, who has the authorization? Just the accountant, just you, for example, or anybody can come into the system?
I have the authorization. Museum have, but it's different level of authorization. But Ministry of Finance have the highest authorization to void, to amend anything. Yes.
Thank you. Honorable Sofa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really have a concern here concerning the public fund. Maritime Academy operates mostly every day, collect revenue every day. And we all know that we're dealing with money. So such institutions are receiving money. I don't think, my opinion, we should keep the money there for more than 108 days. For me, it's a great concern. It was 2024 this. I think by now it have been solved, like you said, but I'm talking 2024 about, because we're dealing with this report. During that time, did the academy have certain amount of cash kept in the office? During that time, 2024, we're dealing with the report, financial report of audit report 2024. Was there a figure, an amount of money that was instructed to be kept in the office at that time? Or it was, we decide if we have some money, we keep all there? Because they must have a procedure, say, we can keep 100,000 or 150. There was no figure that was given a guidance we should keep in our possession, or the academy keep all the money that comes in on a daily basis.
Thank you, Honourable. I think the question was, did you have a instruction somewhere, a limit of cash that you could keep in cash at the academy at any one time?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, in fact, in terms of receiving of cash and banking, it should be done as soon as possible. There is a procedure in the accounting manual, and the Ministry of the Academy should not have been keeping the cash. And the cash that was kept at the Ministry from the Academy, it was cumulative. the amount. So it was an amount that built over time. And the simple reason why the cash was kept is because of the lack of capacity for the accountant to be able to bank this cash. There has to be a reconciliation process as well. And when you have such a large amount of cash, it takes time. So like I explained, it was a gap, but we had to prioritize whether we suspend all the activities of the accountant in relation to the academy and take, I don't know, 3 or 4 days to do the reconciliation or more to bank the cash, or whether we keep the institution going, knowing that, yes, it is a risk, but we had to decide on what would be the top priority and what would be the highest risk. Of course, keeping money is a risk, but also preventing an institution from operating, we considered this as a higher risk. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. And to pursue Honourable Sofa's question, there isn't an instruction anywhere that says that you can keep up to X thousand rupees in cash at any point.
No, Mr. Chair, there's no instruction. In fact, all cash should have been banked the next day. But in this particular situation, the Ministry of Finance was always privy to this situation. It's not something that we hid from them. They were aware of this.
Thank you very much. Honourable, are you satisfied with the answer, so far as it goes?
Well, I respect the answer, but I do not accept the answer.
Well, right. Well, there is a mea culpa, and it's been sorted out. Thank you. Yes, Honourable. Are we happy with this item? I think so. Yes. Can we move to the last item now before we break?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last item on the agenda would be concerning late payment of outstanding bills. So it has been identified that significant delays in settling utility bills, which includes at one point of time payment of 144,000, another instance 89,000, another instance 34,000, with bills accumulating over several months before payment are being settled. This may expose the academy to interest charges, penalties, and potential disruption of essential services. Persistent payment delays also include weakness in budget planning and cash flow management. Management explained that the annual budget allocation for electricity, water, internet were insufficient, despite related requests for increased finance funding. Therefore, the academy accumulated bills until quarterly budget is disbursed. One question is, why were the utility budgets consistently insufficient despite recurring operational needs, and what discussion have been taken place with the Ministry of Finance to address this issue? I will stop here, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank
yes.
you, Honourable Gabriel. I will ask Ms. Gemma to answer the first part, and then I can supplement. Thank you.
Ms. Gemma.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable Gabriel. Yes, we acknowledge that a few bills were kept unpaid. This is mainly to utility bills, which is electricity, internet, and water bills, telephone bills. Mainly electricity and internet. Our internet bills is very huge. Different internet bills are totaling to around 50,000 rupees per month, and our electricity bill totaling about 85,000 per month, although there are means and ways we try to reduce the bill, but it's not always easy. All our classes are air-conditioned, and it's very difficult to lower the bills. But although we make effort, our budget every year is mostly the same, and it doesn't allow us to pay on time. But we are trying our best. We now what I do now, I tend to do a environment when I get the budget. I tend to do environment in early enough so that it can cater for the bills, at least for the quarter bills. At least we pay on time.
Thank you, Ms. Gemma. In fact, basically, if I understand you correctly, and if I understand the management response in the audit report, what you're saying is you ask for an increased utilities budget every year, but we in the Assembly don't give it to you, as a result of which you have to find other ways and means to pay your bills. Yeah. And we understand that, and so thank you for your candor. Yes, PS. You wanted to wait for PS, or yes? Let's hear you, PS.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. In fact, this is exactly what I was going to say, because the budget line that we get for paying these utility bills has been constant, even if there had been increases in tariff, increases in usage. So as long as our budget line for utilities remain the same, this will be a recurrent issue where we will always need to vary from other areas where there are savings to be able to cater for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very clear. Honourable Aysol.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, PS, for the answers. Late payment of outstanding bills. The report stated that disruption of essential services might have a disruption in essential services. So have there been instances where you have been disconnected from some utilities, for example, water or electricity, since your bill keep on rising? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable Aysol. Unfortunately, no. Fortunately, no. They have been lenient to us. They haven't restricted us from our services up to now.
They know that Ms. Gemma is going to come up with a check sooner or later. Yes, Honourable Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm curious to know what explanation is given, because knowing that disruption in services, possibility of surcharges for late payment, what kind of explanation or justification that Ministry of Finance tell the Academy that their request cannot be granted? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable Gill. Unfortunately, the Ministry of Finance does not give us an explanation for what they allocate. They just allocate the amount, and we have to make do with it. But like Ms. Gemma has said, knowing that this is a recurrent practice, now we are more attentive. So we try to look at savings beforehand, so that we can do the varment in time to make the payment.
Thank you. And on that line, you end up at the end of the year with a budget surplus, or do you spend all of the money allocated to you after varments, after necessary varments?
Thank you, Honourable Chair. We do have some savings because there is one particular budget line that caters for the enrollment of learners, which at times we do not get the full
complement.
Yes, so we have a little margin, I would say, to cater for other utility bills. Thank you. Other expenses.
So you have a little bit of wriggle room, but not much.
But not much. But, Honourable Chair, we would have preferred that it is in the proper code,
yes.
the proper budget code, rather than have to wait for savings to do varment. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, and Ms. Chetty, Deputy Clerk, I think this is a point that we need to record and take up with Finance. Thank you. Yes, Honourable Romain.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PS, Gemma, you okay? You mentioned that the cost is rising. I mean, so definitely you have to keep aircon on in your classroom, and then internet. Obviously, that's the facility that the student needs. But have you considered installing solar panels to try and reduce your capacity? I mean, the electricity bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honourable. In fact, yes, we have. In fact, I can. I'll be happy to let the captain, the director, maybe give an explanation of what we're doing so far with regards to solar panel project. Thank you.
Captain?
Thank you, PS. Thank you, panel. For the first time, I'm talking to you today. As far as solar panel we started installing or a car park with the solar panels on the roof. This was a donation coming through the, I think it came from the environmental, they're installing in other schools as well. So as we speak, the solar panels are being installed, and this power will go back to the grid. So it will reduce our utility bill a little bit. So in another 2 weeks, they should be ready. We also looked at installing solar panels on the roof. Yes, the issue was how do we recover the capital cost? So we can invest so much, millions. Will that come back to the school? I think not. The utility bill be reduced, yes, but it will not reflect on our budgets. So that is actually on hold at the moment, but we can consider it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else has any questions on this issue? Honorable Gabriel, you're okay? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One last question before we end. Has the Academy prepared revised expenditure projection to support future budget requests? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Gabriel. Yes, we do. In fact, whenever we have the midterm review with the Ministry of Finance or in preparation of our annual budget, we do prepare our plan of expenditure and requirement, which is submitted to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any questions? Panel, do you have any last statements that you would wish to make?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. No, in fact, for us, it is a pleasure to be given the opportunity to explain the challenges that we have in the administering of the Academy in terms of financing as well, and to be able to explain on the gaps that we have. And I hope with your hearings in terms of common issues that have been raised, maybe we can find a common solution as well that would maybe in our next audit report, we will not have the same findings and queries. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Pierre. So we're pretty certain that you will not. In fact, this is the aim of this current FPAC, that we want to work with the MDAs that come before us to ensure that there is that solutions are found and that the audit reports are trimmed down in terms of adverse findings. We would like to, I think, thank you for the time that you have given. We're going to see some of you back again after the break for the next item today. But I think the whole panel joins me in congratulating the Maritime Academy. I think you're doing a fantastic job. And we will see more of that when we come to look at SINEC in a minute. But it is a fantastic school. It is a school that is providing support and training for in a key area. We regret that you have the challenges that you have shared with us here today. But as we say, we are here to work with you, at least as far as we are concerned. But the information that you've given us today will help us when we're looking at the budget at the end of the year. And I think it informs us so that we can understand the challenges better, and perhaps to the extent that we are, or to the feeble extent that we are able, even as an assembly, to push forward budget allocations. We will certainly do so to ensure that key sectors such as yours receive the funding and the budget that is required for the job that you do. So thank you all very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone at home for watching us. We will now take a little break, and we will be back at 11, is that right, or quarter to? Quarter to 11 for our second part of this morning's work. So thank you very much. We'll have a 15-minute break now. Thank you.